Hello model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and this week I'm going to update you on this build here of my 67 Shelby Eleanor convertible resin body that I had made and mastered a long time ago and finally getting back to building. If you've seen and been following along with this build, then you know I've painted this thing a number of times and it's been getting kind of frustrating, but I had two colors in mind when I originally did it. An orange color like I had chosen here, or yellow. And there's a couple of really nice pearl yellows that are really bright that I really like, but turns out I'm just having not the best of luck painting those colors. So if you've been following along, you've seen that I have painted it 3 different times yellow and ended up stripping it, and I decided I'm going to go with my other plan, which is this atomic orange right here. So that's coming along very nicely, so we'll get a closer look at that. And I've been doing more work to the rest of the kit and fitting some of those parts. As you know, with resin conversions, some of the stuff gets a little difficult to fit, and you've really got to fit everything and double check everything. And even after you've got it glued and painted, sometimes it still doesn't fit even after you've fitted it a couple of times, because things tend to shift around, or when you're mocking it up, and it can shift and move and give you a false sense of fitment. But anyway, as it goes, I'm really been working on the interior here and the bare metal foil and getting this going, and I'm pretty happy with the result here. But the convertible hides some of this stuff here, and then the seat's glued in, so I didn't glue the seat back in, because when you glue it in, it kind of leans up against the boot. So once the body is mounted, I'll glue the boot in place, and then I glue this and rest it against the back of the boot and glue it there. So I can't really glue this in place, but that's just how I've set it up. But as you can see, I've got the bare metal foil on the medallions there. So this is pretty much ready to go in, just needs to be cleaned off, and you can see some of the bubbles on the back side, but that won't be seen once it's glued in place. So got that going. Got my resin door panels glued in place. The seat's done. As you can see, I got bare metal foil wrapped around it, and a lot of bare metal foil on the door panels as well. And I don't know what it is, and you know, I've had some issues getting this stuff to stick, and it seems like the more recent stuff isn't as good as the older stuff, and I know a lot of people complain about that, and it's gotten harder to use. But I've kind of noticed one thing with this. You put the bare metal foil on, and it seems like if you let it sit for a while, half an hour, it seems the longer you let it sit, the glue, I guess, needs time to dry or something, and it sticks a little bit better. Or you can, you know, put additional glue on it, which I've been kind of playing with both, but it really depends. The smaller, narrower sections come off easier than the bigger sections, so it seems like those are factors as well. So I've been getting the bare metal foil on this. It still stretches really well and doesn't quite tear. It'll still tear, but you know, I've been playing with that and learning how to do that over the years on how to get it to blend and stretch. So you know, I've got the door panels in there, and you know, all the foil on there, and pretty happy with the way it came out. But it was frustrating for a little bit and a little harder to use. But yeah, I've got the same thing going on with the Corvette's body. I got to do the foil on that, and I've been kind of putting it off because, you know, it's not quite as fun to use as it used to be. But the results are still nice if you get it to stick, and that's been the trick lately, is getting it to sit or stick, and how well it comes out. So that seems to be working a little bit better for me, is because I used to just put it on, brush it on, trim it with the razor blade, and then pull it right back off. But now it seems like you put it on, you got to let it sit for a while or move on to the next piece, and even that, it might slide or roll on you. Just let the glue sit and settle, and it seems to work a little bit better, but not always perfect. So I've been trying different things, and even, you know, glue to make it work better, but I'll probably explain more. I got the shifter in. I still got some detail painting to do, so this is not done, but it's getting there. And the underside painted the gas tank, and I got some things to work on, but she's going together. But some of these things Like the exhaust, I need to figure out once it's mounted in the body and some of the stuff's placed, because some of it I'll do pre-fitting and some of it I'll do later, and the exhaust is one of those things I'm going to do later. So this is coming along, and I decided I was going to keep the small block in it, so I painted the small block Ford blue, and that's ready to go. But I'm going to do the Shelby intake, which is right here, the intake, the manifolds, booster, carburetor, alternator, and I'll brush paint these. This is how I like to paint my parts, is I'll stick them to the piece of masking tape, and I'll either airbrush them or brush paint them, and then take them off, and after they dry, do one side or the other side. But sometimes it's just, for me, take them off the sprues, clean them all up, and then put them on something like this to hold them, or hand paint it. Depends on how it is. Like even the steering wheel, just got my plastic clamp that I've had forever, and just hold it with that and then paint it and then rotate it and do the next section. But since I'm doing the wood, that's kind of how I did it. Even though right now it's dry, but I still need to do the remainder of that. And I got all the suspension stuff painted. Here's the roll bar. It's painted black, but this will be installed much later. A convertible boot, same thing, painted and pretty much ready to go. It's got the little snaps on it, but I haven't highlighted those in silver yet. But she's coming along, and really happy with the way the dash is coming. This can be a bit of a trick, and the foil is a bit reflective, but having some fun with it. But yeah, I really got that pushed down and stretched in there, and I didn't get this on the first try, believe it or not. It's actually my third application of fighting with it, and most of it's one piece, but there's pieces here that on the sides here that stretch around. Those are two separate pieces. But getting it to lay down and then trimming it with the razor blade, it's come out really nice. I'm really happy with this, but I'm not going to say I got that on the first try. Even with all my years of experimenting with bare metal foil and just experience, it took me a few tries to get this. So came out really nice. I'm really happy with it. I've still got some areas to detail. I want to get these gauges a little better. Was trying to detail up the pedals a little bit. Well, some of that's silver, that's all bare metal foil, but once it's in, you can't see as much of it. Even though it's convertible, you'll see a lot of it. So I'm just trying to get the detail painting a little bit better. But that's just me. I like to do my detailing in paint. I've done some with lots of photo etch and lots of those wires and stuff like that, but I don't build everyone like that. And the main reason is, once they're done and they're on my shelf, they really don't move too much, other than taking them off and showing you videos. Also decided I'm going to do the wheels in black, so goes good with the stripes and everything. I was going to do charcoal, but after painting and everything, I decided these are going to be black, along with the, I almost painted these atomic orange, but I think, nah, I'll keep them black. I thought the orange with the chrome ring was going to be too much. Bumper's got the stripes on it, which this I actually had to mask in place. So you can see I did it both ways, but initially this was put on the car, and then I sprayed the black stripes. Now the atomic orange was sprayed ahead of time, of course, and this was done off the car. But when I did the stripes on the car, I masked and then did all of it and sprayed it. But then I did do some touch-ups and go back in there and get it behind the bumper, but not behind the bumper on this side, but on there, so in case it moved or slipped, it didn't have the fade. So I filled in all of that and touched up a lot of those. Now I did do some more touch-ups back here, but I got the stripes where I want them. I like the way they're looking, so this is the look I want. There's a little bit of a lip there that I could feel it, so I got to knock that down before I clear coat it, but I still got to put the decals on it and figure all of my configurations on what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put the GT500 stripes on the side, of course, but I haven't decided if I'm going to put the GT500 emblems here or GT350 emblems on it, because technically being a small block, it would be a GT350, but these are customs anyway, and even though all of the Eleanor say GT500 on them, a lot of them have small blocks in them, or stroked small blocks in them. Not really the big blocks, but and to each their own. Basically, it is a custom. But my main thing was I really want the convertible, and I want this look and these stripes. So that's mainly what I'm going for, the Eleanor look, even though I kind of like the 67 Shelby's hood better than the Eleanor's hood. And then some of these extra lights, I like these ones opened up more than actually lights, but I'm going to put the lights in them and the lights in here. But having all of these lights on this car, it's a little redundant, from the Department of Redundancy department. Anyway, these coming along good, so I got to get some decals on this, and I'll get this thing clear coated. But here's what the hood looks like, and same thing, the stripes were put on with the hood in place, so it was all masked up and shot in place, which is why it's not in here, but the whole engine compartment's getting blacked out anyway, so I wasn't too worried about it. Once it's cleared, I'll do the semi-gloss black in there, and then no stripes up here, because this is all going to be chrome foiled anyway, because it's a convertible, and there's no body color up here on a real convertible. So she's coming along, and I'm super excited and super pleased on it. But I'm like, I haven't done an update on this. I did the little teaser video on it just to show you, and I'm working on it, but I'm bouncing around between all of these projects. But really happy and really excited with where this one is now and how it's going, and you know, not trying to rush or get this one done, or actually rush to get any of them done. It's been really hard for me to find time to spend on the models right now. It's just, that's how life is, and it happens to everybody. But you know, I still got some stuff to do, like paint this tranny, and I kind of was thinking about maybe doing a modern engine swap to this one, but with all the fitting I got going on, I'm like, I'm not going to complicate it too much, which is one of the reasons why I'm going to keep the small block, but I'm going to put the oval Cobra air cleaner on it, and of course the Cobra valve covers that come in the kit, and just enjoy it. And I'm probably going to lower it a little bit more than just to make sure these wheels are in the right place. So I don't know if I'm going to be modifying these spindles anymore or not, but I'll get to that point when I get there. So thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next Saturday.